Now we move on to the next poet, Mr. Leonard Kress. Mr. Kress, uh, your poems that I read in the Hindi translations, they combine historical awareness with wit, irony, and careful observation. How do you decide when a historical event has become poetry rather than simply history?
Usually it has to intersect in some way with both my life and something in the culture at large. So there's three intersections: the historical, the cultural, and personal. That way,
Mm,
that way.
yeah, and many of your poems balance seriousness with irony. Does humor sometimes allow us to confront painful histories more honestly?
I think so, but I also think I might lean too heavily on irony, and sometimes it, because of history, because
Mm,
of the ravages of history, it veers a little bit into cynicism sometimes. So a lot of my irony is an attempt to avoid cynicism. But
mm. And you combine the intellectual reflection with very vivid imagery. But when you're writing, what comes first in your writing? The idea or the image?
probably the image and the sounds, the music of how I imagine the image. The sound is
Mm,
pretty much what drives me. You might not think that because a lot of my poems are narrative, but I'm still very much driven by music and the sounds of the language.
right. Yes, yes. Please read your poems. Let's listen to
Okay,
some of your poems now.
my all four of my grandparents came from Poland, Lithuania, and Belarus, but they came over 100, 120 years ago. So all that has been lost to me growing up. And even my last name had undergone a change. So that was a different world to me that I've been kind of exploring and kind of delving into through poetry, translation, and travel, oh, maybe for the past 40 or so years. Um, this is a poem called Jewish Synagogue in Warsaw. I've been to Poland many, many times, but for some reason I only made it to the Jewish synagogue in a trip last year. So, Jewish Synagogue in Warsaw. I shouldn't be shocked that I cannot find even a vestige of the last remaining ghetto wall, relying on graffiti that must baffle my phone's GPS, though the Kinder transports clearly had no trouble. But here it stands, the synagogue, rebuilt like the entire bombed out city from rubble. I wonder if the Masons had much trouble separating Christian rocks from Jewish ones. No one sees me enter the building. A woman unleashes her dog to chase squirrels in the adjoining park, and bored cops pace in pairs. I am the lone suspect here. Metal detectors, scanners, a brief interrogation. If I had chutzpah, I'd offer to drop my drawers to display my circumcision. In the sanctuary, the vacant bima glares back at my own blatant ignorance of Torah, the Bible, as some hidden voice bores deep into me. I am unsure if I am being praised or castigated. I want to climb the balcony stairs and hide beneath the voluminous skirts of vanquished souls to partake in what they prayed.
Please read more poems. Excellent poem.
Okay,
Please read more.
this is actually one that cites the kind of the intersection between Poland and India, because I was at an international poetry festival in Warsaw many years ago, and there was a South Indian poet who was a member of the panel. So this is called International Poetry Festival, Warsaw. The poet reads aloud a South Indian language I've never heard of, but here at the Writers' Union, it's translated into Polish, declaimed by a washed-up TV actor whose last role was Solidarity Informer. Who can blame him dumping vodka into his glass of tea? He follows a dread host of speeches, followed by a string quartet from State Higher School of Music No. 5, cellist with her chain-link belt, narcoleptic black hair which he wakes from her eyes. They play something irrepressibly Polish, waltz, mazurka, polonaise, competing for the prize. She could be my daughter ringing berets from Bach's unaccompanied cello suite in the next room as I stick cinnamon in the curry I'm cooking. Now the poet tells of Buddha's favorite disciple, Ananda, who's tempted by a young village girl who's drawing water from a well. In the time it takes to empty the small bucket into a larger one, she's already in love with him, saffron-robed, barefoot, head shaved. "Oh, Ananda," she cries, "please renounce your vows. What good is perfect bliss compared to my love for you?" He leaves, chanting a sutra, not bothering to turn back, as she struggles to hoist and balance her yoke of laden buckets. And
Yes,
as I
fantastic. Yes,
as I said,
fantastic.